Jeffrey?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. If you would, please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Gentlemen, excuse me, meeting started. Pledge allegiance, thank you. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The first item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the February 13th regular meeting. We have had a chance to take a look at these. Anybody have any questions, any additions, or alterations? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. And Linda, the fiscal officer's report?
Yes, the board has received all updated reports now that 2016's been closed out. And I just need to read into the record that we have $10,441,000 and $162.32 in our checking and investment accounts. And I think that does it for today.
Okay. And anybody have any questions about Linda and the current report? Okay, we also have the bills to pay. We've had a chance to take a look at the current bills. Anybody have any questions? Is there a motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Okay. And we have a recommendation to hire Michael Dean as a full-time assistant fiscal officer effective March the 6th, 2017, at a rate of $20 per hour. Anything particularly you want to point out about that?
Mr. Dean and his wife and his three boys are here today, and we're really looking forward to having him get started.
Very good. Is there a motion to hire Michael Dean as full-time assistant fiscal officer?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. Michael, if you would come up, please. If you would raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, and state your name,
I, Michael Dean,
do solemnly swear I will support the Constitution of the United States
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
required as an assistant fiscal officer of Clearcreek Township, required as a assistant fiscal officer of Clearcreek Township,
required as the Assistant Fiscal Officer of Clearcreek Township,
Warren County, State of Ohio,
Warren County, State of Ohio,
to which office I have been appointed
which office I have been appointed
according to the law and the best of my ability
according to the law and the best of my ability,
during my continuance in office.
during my continuance in office.
Thank you very much. Glad to have you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. Hello, thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. So stay up here, is this?
Yep, you're good.
That's all in that.
The-
We'll get you official.
I was gonna say, the official one's right there.
Look at that. Thank you, guys.
Fine.
Well, we need to make a copy of that first file.
I'll keep them there.
Yeah.
We'll
Get that
get it.
Okay.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
And item D under fiscal business, we have a resolution authorizing the payments of recurring ordinary course utility bills to avoid late fees and interest charges for 2017.
Yes, Mr. Wade, we have had a discussion among staff that, and as the board well knows, we've had to have often special meetings because 3 years ago, the utility companies changed. Previously, they did not charge governments for late fees because they know that we can't pay bills unless we have a meeting first. Well, they decided to change that 3 years ago, and we've been, even though we have meetings when we have them, sometimes if a bill comes in the day after a meeting, it could be late because they give us 10 days to pay a bill. So we talked to our law director, and we are going to start if the board passes this resolution, this will allow us the authority to pay these bills. You will still be approving them, as oftentimes we do, retrospectively. Okay, so you'll know what they are. But it's since we can't, you can't make a decision on the rate you're charged. There's just no reason not to go ahead and pay those in advance. And this vote gives me the authority to go ahead and pay those bills.
That makes perfect sense. questions about 49.99? Okay, so motion to approve 49.99.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. Anything additional, Mrs. Lynn?
No, sir.
Okay, under special activities, we already took care of item 1. And then we have, Linda has her Warren County Recorder's annual report. Anything you particularly want to point out, Linda? But
I'm going to go ahead and give these back. Well, as you all know, my full-time gig is with the Warren County Recorder's Office. I just want to give a couple highlights of what's been going on in the office over the last year. It's a good time to live in Clearcreek Township, I will tell you this. If you talk to the auditor, the treasurer, or anybody on the second floor of the administration building in the county, you'll know that in the next 2 years, they expect land prices in Clearcreek, in northern Warren County, and all of Warren County will be going up. And anything north of 122, they're expecting to go up anywhere from 10 to 15% property values. In Clearcreek Township specifically, a 20% increase. So if you've got the property to sell, you might hang on for a couple of years. They're expecting that to go up. Mr. Gabbard's smiling. Some of the other things that I'd like to talk to you about is the General Assembly has made it, the Warren County Recorder's Office first is in charge of all land records for the state of Ohio, for Warren County. In the state of Ohio, all county recorders do that. But we're also in charge of recording all veteran IDs, veteran discharge papers, they're called DD-214s. We're the only office in southwestern Ohio that offers veteran ID cards. And we've been putting a lot of effort into that. We've been recording them off-site, and as a result, we've seen the number of DD-214s that we've recorded go way up. It's really important if you have somebody that you care about that's a veteran that doesn't have their DD-214 recorded. When a veteran passes, there's a lot of benefits that can go to the family. If they're not recorded, oftentimes they cannot put their hands on that DD-214. Once you have it recorded, then I can give you a copy of it that's certified, that's as good as the original. And that way you always know where it's at. We recently had a member city councilman who passed away, who had the ability to have that, those benefits, but he hadn't recorded them. So we had to wait on Washington DC to find that document and then get it back to us so his family could benefit. So we've been recording, we did a recording here in Springboro, an off-site recording last summer, and had about 18 veterans come in and get their DD-214. We recorded on the big bus. You might have seen the big RV that the Warren County Veterans Service Commission has. We do a lot of work with them. We also are responsible for knowing where every veteran in Warren County who's passed is buried. And that was a project that was kept on 3x5 index cards till 2007, and then they quit doing it in my office. So we made that a priority. It took about 2 years with interns, but we now have an Excel spreadsheet where we can get you based on cemetery, based on name, like any other Excel spreadsheet. So it's searchable. So that's something we're really proud of. One other thing before I be quiet here is, if you look on revenue data for 2016, you'll see that we brought in almost $2.5 million for the county. Except for the General Assembly passed when Governor Taft was governor. His wife Hope wanted to help disadvantaged people with housing. And so they raised, I consider all government fees taxes, and so they doubled the fees in the recorder's office. And half of what I bring in goes to Columbus to something called the Ohio Housing Trust Authority. And that pays for disadvantaged housing in the state of Ohio. So last year we sent, almost $1.2 million to Columbus, and I can't find any record for any of that money is coming back to Warren County. So it's very similar to what we find with our schools and other organizations here in Warren County, is that they kind of look to us in Warren County. We're, I think, the 7th wealthiest county in the state of Ohio by per capita income, and they kind of look to us to support the counties that aren't as well off as we are. So that's just something that I always think is interesting to point out. But if you have any questions, Mike, obviously you guys know how to get hold of me. Okay?
Very good,
Thank
thank you
you.
very much. Anybody in the audience have any questions, Ms. Soto, about a report? Okay. Thank you. Okay, under new business, road department?
Nothing of that, sir.
Weather's great,
Can't complain.
but keeping you out of the road department. Planning and zoning department, Jeff?
Yes, sir. At the last meeting, we had resolution 4996, which was dealing with the Clark Ventures property. At the end of the public hearing, the applicant requested a table till tonight. On the 23rd, the letter that was in your packet is on the board. The applicant's requesting a second continuation, this time to March the 13th. I'm not sure if you want to honor the 13th or if you want to give additional time just to make sure that he's able to attend and come forth. We will send out notifications after you've decided on your date and time. The reason for his delay is he wanted to meet with his attorney. He was able to do that late last week. He also wants to meet with myself and our law director before he comes back to the trustees. So,
Well, let me ask you, would we be better served to delay it a couple weeks longer? 2 weeks isn't very long.
That's what my
Obviously,
thought was.
He's found that already,
Yeah.
so if we moved it to the end of the month, I don't think it makes any difference to this board, does it? Do you guys care? And Jeff, how about you? That gives you a little...
yeah, I think that moving it to the 27th is probably prudent since it is going to get tight again for a couple days to get everything together. That way, we won't have a delay. We won't have the public come only to tell them that it's been delayed. It will be the date.
Okay. Then I would like to entertain a motion to reconvene the recessed or tabled public hearing until March 27th at 5:30 p.m.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Petersbaum? Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah, okay, thank you. And we have the Warren County Regional, before we go on, anybody have any questions about that before we go on to the next item? Just table for a month, basically, yeah, okay, 4 weeks. Okay, and Warren County Regional Planning Commission appointments.
Yeah, this is the time for, even though it's not due until April, they always come out in February, March to get you ready for the following year. We have 6 representatives, 3 full members and 3 alternates. What I've done this year, Lori and myself are the same, Mr. Mearspaw, Mr. Wade are the same. We had Jack Cameron, our township administrator, who was an alternate with John Edelman. Went ahead and put Mr. Gabbard as the alternate at this time.
Okay.
So if that's acceptable to you, we'll go forth and give that letter. If you guys want to hold off, we can do that also.
Do you need a motion for that? I assume?
That's all I need is a motion.
Okay, we might as well go ahead and do that. It's recommended by Jeff to fill those positions for the Warren County Regional Planning Commission.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearspaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. Anything else at this time, Jeff?
No, sir.
Okay, Fire District, we have a recommended pay increase for Sean O'Neill.
Yeah, this is his contractual step raise. Standard, if anybody's got questions, we won't have an answer.
Okay, as soon as I find that page. It's not there.
You gotta get a fire.
Fire.
See, I went back to the book and now we're getting, got
There we go.
it screwed up, yeah. We should,
Maybe we could say fire. Okay, just by contract, Sean O'Neill is due for his step increase from 2112 to 2190. Is there a motion to approve the step increase?
So moved.
second?
Mr. Mearspaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. Anything else at this time? Okay. Police Department, Chief? Okay. And administration, Jason?
Nothing under administration for tonight. I'll do a couple staff updates.
Okay, staff updates under Hoffman.
2 updates there. We are still waiting on Mr. Whitaker to return the blanket liability insurance form that we need to show that he's covered to do the hay baling. Once that's done, Brian and I will put together the contract with him and have that hopefully by next meeting. I anticipated it for tonight, but he misunderstood what we needed. So he had to go back to his insurance agent and have it redone. Second part of the Hoffman update is kind of giving you a status on the house. The claim now is, and we have a dumpster in place for them to clean out the rest of the house. Planning on doing a walkthrough with Jerry Hoffman and Tony Hale. Hopefully Monday or Tuesday of next week is the target, and then at that point, we would take possession and get all the basically, you do a walkthrough, take pictures, just to make sure that there's a release of liability on their part for any contents that are in the house currently. There's been a little bit of back and forth about that, and Brian and I talked about it and thought it'd be best that we do it just this way. Take pictures, make sure that they know, so in 5 years when a distant cousin comes back looking for a rocking chair, that it wasn't in our possession, basically. So, once that's done, that will be behind us. Tony's been involved on every step, as have I and Brian, so we're staying out ahead of that as well, so. Second one is on the roof issues. This has been kind of the 700-pound gorilla in the room, that our roof is past its life expectancy on this building, and we are having some pretty serious leaking issues. One of which is in the evidence room, another of which is literally above our heads. So Scott, in concert with Jeff and I, are working through to try to get some estimates to something that wasn't in the budget, but is something that, as John and I have talked about, eventually our insurance will stop covering damage that we get based on the fact that it hasn't been repaired sufficiently. So, it's 24 years in, does that sound about right? So, this is something that I personally, it flew below my radar wearing the hats we wear up here, but something that probably should have been in the budget for 2017 because of the ongoing issues we have. So I will hopefully have estimates by next meeting.
Rembrandt and Nation's Roof are both supposed to have them here in the next week or so, and Mr. Kendall said that he liked the opportunity, but we built a metal building, let him know, he'll be more than happy to give us a price on that. So
Okay.
he kind of withdrew. So
Mr. Kendall.
for Dryden Builders.
Oh, that's their roofer. Okay, never mind. That's commercial. Okay. Well, yeah, we'll find a third one here in the next week or so. We won't be able to compare three different. I don't know if there's anybody that either one of you would recommend, but Nation's Roof does a lot of work around here, I know.
Yeah, such as Rembrandt. There's a company out of Middletown that is Integrity.
Integrity Roofing?
It's got Integrity Restoration and Roofing, I think.
Mr. Gabbard, when we had, and Mr. Palmer, you're gonna remember this, when we had all those frozen pipes, I think it was 2013, and it happened and it was a mess, and then we had it like 3 weeks later. Didn't they do something with the roof back then? Or do we need to do something different with the roof of the contractor so that we don't have that mess that we did? I mean,
Well, the
if I
pipes
remember
were
right-
part of the fire suppression system, so they're actually below the roof.
so that didn't have
Around that
insulation.
time, we did have a leak that was around the vents. So that may be what was starting to cross over, but that was addressed at the time.
Flashing dries up.
Correct.
There's soft spots all over the roof. You can stand in the parking lot and see the dips in the roof. There's gonna be a lot of plywood.
But I mean, I remember back then they were talking about replacing it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
been, this is Linda, you're right, it's been
Back and
probably 3 or 4 years that, and then we just, the last good rain we got, what, a week and a half ago?
Yeah, poured into the property room, which is a problem for me with evidence and stuff like that. Yeah, luckily it's got a concrete floor over there, or a concrete ceiling, so we don't know how much water was standing above the concrete ceiling, and we don't know where it came from, because water, trace wires, whatever, so. We had to rig up some trash cans and tarps and stuff to get it to, so.
Sounds like we better get busy on that.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to bring it to your attention tonight. So,
Okay.
that would be it for staff updates.
All right. We do have an executive session scheduled, and don't know that there'll be any action taken after that. So if anybody has any questions or comments before we go into executive session, you're certainly welcome. If I have anything you want to add tonight? Okay, so hearing none, is there a motion to recess the regular meeting and go into executive session with resolution 5,000?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yeah.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah.